Chandler's a great athlete all around. He's quick on his feet, he's determined, he never quits. He's a heat-seeking missile.
Familiar face to the Get Sports Focus crew. It is Chadler the Beast Ramirez from Archbishop Mitty, the new CCS champion at the 195-pound weight class. Chandler, a heck of a day, a great performance in that final matchup. Take me through it.
You know, I wrestled Brandon earlier, and he's a good wrestler, and he beat me the very first time I wrestled. He beat me. So I knew I had to go out there and prove myself because the coaches put me at the second seed at this tournament thinking that he deserved the first seed. So I have to give it to him. He's a good wrestler, but I came out and gave it my all. So
we noticed you got the A. You're heading to Annapolis next year to play with Army. Now, is this going to be football, wrestling? Is there a little bit of both?
Nope. I'm full football. I'm committed for football, and I look to do some great things there. So,
how would you like to close out your career with Mitty?
I'd love to win Athlete of the Year. That's what I've been shooting for ever since freshman year, and hopefully I proved myself and made myself worthy of that. So,
well, you're already WCAL Co-Player of the Year in football. I'm pretty sure, you know, it's been a good year for you.
Hopefully.
All right, congratulations once again. Thanks for joining us.
We were a bit of a underdog in maybe the newspapers, and we were projected to finish 5th in the WCAL preseason rankings or whatever, and so that was a little bit of extra motivation.
After a very hard summer workout program, we were going into the season prepared physically and mentally.
We all knew for a long time that we could hang with the big boys and that we were one of the best teams in the section, and that on any given night we could come up big and beat anyone.
We were all faster than we were before, all stronger than we were before, so we just couldn't wait to play.
I'd say probably the best thing to have as a quarterback is a great running back and a great defense, and we had both those things, which was definitely beneficial. Kyle pounded the ball, Chandler pounded the ball, and they played great throughout, and that really propelled us to the win. I wasn't surprised at all. I knew with the group of guys we had and how much work we had put in with Coach Nichols and everyone else during the summer that we could do anything.
First 3 games, our preseason games against Los Gatos, Palo Alto, and Leland, they were all games that we knew we had to prepare for, but we thought we were prepared. Every single game against Palo Alto is always a close one, but it's always one that comes down to the wire, and whoever wants it more. In the past 2 to 3 years, we've wanted it more, so luckily we've come on top. This year, when we played against them, I knew it was going to be a big game. And luckily I scored 2 touchdowns. One of them was a punt return. We just took advantage of the turnovers, played our game, we're fast, quick, we just did what we did.
Now, is the run game going to be like this every week? Can we expect that?
We hope so, we hope so. I can't make any promises, but we're a good team, we're a good team.
It was kind of a shock. I didn't know what to believe at first. I saw him on the bench. I remember I was doing some drills at D-line, and I look over, I see Kyle sitting down on the bench crying.
To cap it off, Barna hands it off to Kyle Evans for the score. Evans, a sophomore, that's his first varsity touchdown.
Since freshman year, it's me and Kyle have always been together, and we've always been like, we're doing this, we're making it to the top together. We played freshman football together, then we went to varsity our sophomore year, and this was going to be our senior year, right? And so when I saw him walk out onto the field, he had 2 casts on. Yeah, I broke down. I was just like, I started crying.
It was kind of a heartbreaking moment, especially for him, who works so hard every day and never takes the easy way out. He's always the first one to practice, the last one out, and it was just heartbreaking.
Just seeing him, because he was just emotionally destroyed at the moment, because all he wanted to do was just have the best senior year he could, and then seeing him with the cast on his hands, it was tough.
During the first game against Los Gatos, there was a play, it was like a fluky play where I had my hand up and I was holding the football, and someone ended up hitting my hand. And I go to the sidelines and I'm like, oh, coach, my hand's swelling, I don't know what's going on. And I just wrap it up, I ice it for a bit, and I go back in, I keep playing. And then I ended up doing the same thing to my other hand a few plays later. And then, I just thought it was like, a bruise or something. So I kept playing for the next 2 games against Leland and Palo Alto. And then, it came to the point where it was a bye week before the game against Reardon. And my mom was like, oh, we should just get it checked out. Like, I didn't know what it would be, but get it checked out anyways. And I ended up getting it checked out. I got x-rays, and the doctor walks in, he grabs my hands and he squeezes them. And he says, does that hurt? I'm like, yeah, quite a bit. And he's like, well, good, because they're broken. And I was like, oh, okay, so how long? And he's like, I'm sorry, you're out for the season. You're going to be out for the next 3 to 4 months.
That day was definitely nuts when he walked in with 2 casts, and everyone was just, guys started crying a little bit because, he was our leader, he's the stud, he deserved to have the great senior year. But then once he was out, we had to really kind of get back to business and recognize that there was a void and who was going to fill it in. So Chandler stepped up even more, Dakari stepped up, Corey Byler, Daniel Rice. We just kind of, all the guys worked together and kind of couldn't completely replace him, but I think we did a pretty good job while he was out.
Everybody calls him Prime Time. I like to call him Rick James. It used to be a competition early on, but we became really good friends, and I support him in everything he does. Anytime he gets a ball during kick return or punt return, I know something big's gonna happen, so I make sure I'm watching. And being with him in the backfield has been great. He's got the shakes, he's got the speed, he's got everything it takes. So he's a great corner. And as a receiver and as a running back, he has hand. I don't think I've ever seen him drop a pass, maybe a couple, but he likes to work. He likes to work on the little things, and that's definitely what counts.
St. Francis game was our one game we played at Mitty under the lights, so that's always a special game. And then we were kind of in the midst of making a run for the league title, so that was definitely a special game. So crazy game, packed house. We played decent. Both teams have a lot of chances to score, back and forth, no one can convert. Defenses are coming up big. So it's 10-10 going towards the end, and then about down to 10 seconds left, and they lined up for that last kick. And I was more than worried because I knew they had a good kicker.
That St. Francis game, that was pretty sweet. My block, I remember right before Coach Malaya again, he called timeout, and the defense all went out to go talk to him, and he said, you know what, we're gonna get through, we're gonna bust through the line, and we're gonna block this kick. And I remember I looked back to the season and preseason, all the workouts, and every time we were doing sprints, he would shout out, "Who's going to make a play? Who's going to make a play?" We would all shout out, "I'm going to make a play. We all are going to make a play."
I remember being on one knee on the sideline, pretty much separated from the rest of my teams, and it was almost one of those moments where I couldn't look, but you know, I peeked over and then saw the ball snapped, was getting ready to be crushed by losing by a field goal, and then I see Daniel pop through. I see him stick up his arms, knock the ball down, and then all of a sudden the game was over and we won.
That game, I got lucky. I made the play.
Let's go! Let's make them regret ever stepping on this field! Keep on! There we go!
Bellarmine and Mitty, and even for me, like having to choose between both schools, and I chose Mitty, and I just think of Bellarmine like as the opposite, the other school that I could have chose, but I'm happy I didn't choose. And you know, just so much passion that goes into the game before the Bellarmine game. That's always the game.
Mitty won the toss. They'll defer to the second half. Bellarmine will be receiving at this end of the field. Okay, guys, just have a great game. Okay, go ahead and shake hands.
Have a good game, man. Have a good game, bro.
If we don't beat anybody else, Bellarmine needs to be the team that we beat, and everybody will be happy.
I'm standing here beside Kyle Evans. Kyle, it is your first game back after a tough injury earlier in the season. You had your first touchdown tonight. What does it mean for you to be able to come back on the field?
You know, I mean, it was just an opportunity that I had to take advantage of. I found out that I could play yesterday early morning around 8 a.m.
Wow.
And so, you know, all I thought about was getting back on the field and supporting my team and contributing the way I can.
He was telling us he was going to be back for Bell Week. And I thought he was just saying that just because he was saying that. I didn't think he was going to do it.
And then I looked over to the locker next to me, and Kyle was suiting up. He was putting his pads on. So I was like, all right, let's go do it.
It was really amazing what he's able to do after that, because most people, they won't have it in them to keep doing it, what they do, and just do whatever they can to rehabilitate themselves. And Kyle, Kyle stuck with it. Kyle trained as much as he could.
Good work. That's a great play, Kyle. Welcome back.
As you saw, he had one of the best games, and he had some of the best catches in the game.
He ended up making, in my opinion, the catch of the year on a bomb down the sideline. I dropped back, I threw it up, and I thought about, oh man, I overthrew him. It's going to be an incomplete pass. And then I see him reach out with his all little taped up, bundled up hands, and makes a diving catch, crazy catch, awesome catch.
It was just ridiculous what he was able to do, so I'm proud of him and everything that he did.
What did it feel like to be able to beat Bellarmine?
I can't even explain. I literally can't even explain. Since I've been on varsity, we've gone 0-3, and every single game we've been really emotional. And so this one's special. This one's special. It's a great game. You know, a lot of the guys on the Mitty team are good friends with the guys on the Bellarmine team, and you know, it's a friendly and also enemy rivalry too. So it's a little bit of both. But you know, it's a tradition that's been going on for a while, and we just try to keep it going.
With football, especially me, Kyle, and Chandler, we've been in it for 3 years. We've always believed what the coaches have said, to always work hard, to always finish through the line, and it's all just came back, and we've been reaping we reaped the benefits this season.
The WCAL is crazy. Every week you're gonna roll out and you're gonna play a great team with great players who are well coached, and they're gonna go at it. So there's no easy games in the WCAL. That definitely caught me by surprise. You know, they're a great team. Coach Walsh is a great coach, really good guy. We just came out flat. So you know, it's one of those days you can't be on your A game every single day. So we rolled up there. They played really well. We played poorly. They win. That's what happens sometimes. We
fell short a little bit of our goal, which was a WCAL outright title and a CCS Open Division title, but overall we made Mitty history, and we're pretty proud of what we did.
Senior year, one of the hardest things was, like, not only did I want to do good stuff with the football team and earn some personal goals at the end, but at the back of my mind I always had football and college, and what am I going to do with my life? Am I going to wrestle in college? Like, what's up?
I'm joined now by Chadler Ramirez. 5 sacks, is it? Wow, 5 sacks. Tell me about the game.
Well, really, it was a team effort. I was able to get those sacks because our coverage downfield was amazing, and we were able to hold up all the receivers, so our line was able to get in and get the quarterback, which is what we planned.
You guys are now undefeated, but let's just single you out for just this one night. We got some MVP shirt for you. Show it off, my friend. This is all for you.
Year Chandler Ramirez.
Now, what would you contribute most to your success?
You know, I just have to give it to my teammates and my coaches. Like Daniel Mendoza, who took 3rd of this tournament, he's been my wrestling partner all year, and I couldn't ask for a better partner because he's always pushing me and everything. And my coaches, like Coach Curry, Coach Walker, Coach Shade, all of them, Coach Wyckoff, Coach Witch, Coach Green, they're great coaches, and they know how, this is a tough sport, and they know how to make it fun. And you need coaches who know how to do that, because, or else without that, then wrestlers aren't going to love the sport.
Now, we notice you got the A, you're heading to Annapolis next year to play with Army. Now, is this going to be football, wrestling? Is there a little bit of both?
Nope, I'm full football. I'm committed for football, and I look to do some great things there.
Minimal defense. Get your knees ankle fixed, but I need movement out of you. Gotta get side to side. Gotta get circling. More circle. Hey, circle and movement. What? You know what I mean by that? Circle, movement, push off to the side. You step one time. That's not circling. Come on now.
When you think about it, everyone's like, do you realize you have to go to the Army? Do you realize there's all that good stuff in addition to that? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And if I'm going to be spending my 5 years doing something, it's great that I get to be doing it, serving my country and doing something important for the world.
only been one guy to place at the CIF state meet from Mitty, and I think Chandler wants to exceed that and be the #1 guy, be the guy that places in the top 7, places in the top 5, places in the top 3, and he definitely is sitting in a good spot in order to do that.
The state's definitely a whole nother level of experience and good wrestlers, so I'm just happy that I get to participate in that and I get to wrestle against the best and be able to finish out my wrestling career with that. So.
Better than I expected, I guess I could say that. I came in here, I think it's the 16th seed, and won my first match, and I lost my second match. So I had to win 7 matches to get to win 3rd place. I came out here to this tournament, and I just want to give my all, and so I ended up taking 3rd, and it's a dream.
When I think about our football team, I think about community. We're a band of brothers, and everything we do together. And if someone does something bad, we all just pick them up together.
Ready, begin!
Definitely the one thing that's going to stand out from playing sports for me is just how to form relationships and the relationships I made. You hear the cliche a lot about teams being brothers or brotherhood and everything, and I didn't buy into that for a long time. And then this year through the football team and the baseball team, I know it's the real deal. I know those guys are special. They're really special to me, and they're always going to have a special piece of my heart. And I know when you get a group of 20 guys on a baseball team or 60 guys on a football team that all take a bullet for each other, special things can definitely happen and do happen, and I love them all, and I'm thankful that I got to go on this ride with them.